ladies and gentlemen, we have our first finalist, and here we are in an effort to get our second. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we've got the pink Protoss. It's ACuteSnek from BoRnGo. In the top left-hand corner, it's the Zerg player who's got a very inappropriate name on EU. It's Nathanial. I saw like a tiny bit of lag in game, and immediately I see the lag in game and my eyes dart to the packet loss monitor. Like, no, internet, don't do it again. Stay with me, internet. The internet appears to be hanging strong for now. ACuteSnek will be walling off on the low ground. I believe we watched ACuteSnek play a PVZ earlier, if I remember correctly. I'm going to go ahead and take a look around. ACuteSnek will confirm that it is not a pool first opener. The hatchery timing looks good. Everything is in order, and that should leave the Protoss free to open up, and there it's going to be Nexus 4-4. So it will be an economic opener here from the Protoss player. Neither player looking to get cheeky just yet. There is still time for that, however. One of the next major decisions I'm waiting to see, Nathaniel. Are you going to try and secure an early third? ACuteSnek has been smart enough to leave this probe out there. You'll lose the income from the probe, but you do get an idea if you don't see your Zerg opponent looking to take a third base before the 3-minute mark. It is worthy of concern, to say the least. 6 Zerglings on the way, which is more than you'd expect. 2 or 4 maybe, but 6 Zerglings is a lot. Let's see if there is a plan to get aggressive with these 6 Zerglings, or maybe it's just a misclick. Maybe meant to make 4, accidentally made 6. The 2-minute 40-second mark is coming up. And yeah, Zerglings are moving across the map. There is a drone headed towards the third, like it wants to take the third. This probe is going to feel like it is being very annoying and doing a very good job. But this probe does not realize that there are 6 Zerglings coming across the map. Probe continuing to be annoying, running in circles around here, denying the third base, but the third base timing is not all that needs to be worried about. Zerglings arrive, but the Zerglings arrive a little too late. There's an Adept plugging that wall, and while 6 Zerglings can fight an Adept out in the open, they will not be able to break through the gap in that wall. Third base firing up for Nathaniel. Worker counts looking pretty even. Nathaniel a little bit down, but with the way the Zerg economy works, that could change in a heartbeat. 2 queens, no third queen on the way, so 2 queens going to be enough for Nathaniel for the time being. Going to continue to crank out drones, it looks like, for now. Layer starting up for Nathaniel. Back on the other side of the map, Resonating Glaives is finishing up for ACuteSnek, if I remember correctly. In her game 1 of the last PVZ, we watched ACuteSnek play. It was the Adept followed up by the DTs. So let's see if Adept into DTs is the play once again. Nathaniel does have 2 aggressively placed Overlords that may be thinking long-term about a Nidus. Maybe a Nidus. A Nidus would make sense with the Roach Warren finishing up, with the Lair finishing up. My dogs are barking. Woof! 4 more drones on the way. Mineral line looking fully saturated here at the third. Nathaniel doing a nice job scaling up those workers. Remember, he was down on workers not long ago, and we talked about how with the way their economy works, he should be able to close that gap. Now here's the plan. ACuteSnek is going to try and reclose that gap with a very strong Glaives Adept push. Here come the Adepts. Shading in to the natural. They are fighting the queens right now. You would like to see them get shift queued there and get targeting on these drones, and there we go. 12 drones have fallen so far. This is absolutely devastating damage. 15 drones down, and here comes another shade into the main, surrounded by Zerglings, but Zerglings will quickly be cleaned up. Resonating Glaives does quite well against Zerglings. Shading back towards the natural as they bait the queens further out of position. As this shade finishes up, the drones are arriving, and here we go. More drones will continue to fall. Absolutely devastating damage being done here by the Protoss. Almost 30 drones have fallen so far. A shade going in towards the third base. And keep in mind, while this is going on, the Dark Shrine is finished. DTs are on the horizon, moving around in circles. These drones out on the middle of the map, hanging out underneath the Warp Prism, is not going to be a safe place for them. They will not be able to mine. They will not be able to contribute to the cause. 3 DTs are being warped in. They will take out this queen, and as the DTs move in towards the base, there is no detection. The third base is falling to Adepts. We're down to 16 workers here for Nathaniel. Things are not looking great. Adepts are shading all over the place. As these Adepts shade out, more Adepts shade in. There's nowhere safe for this Zerg to farm. Adepts in the main are finally being cleaned up by some roaches, but now we've got 4 DTs on the scene. DTs will slice through any army that the Adepts are incapable of dealing with. 2 workers, 1 worker. Nathaniel is out of workers here. Oh, he's moving. I was like, how is this queued up if he's out of workers? Taking a second to process his loss before calling GG. ACuteSnek will go up 1-0 with a well-executed Resonating Glaives play. Well done. We are getting into it here. Map number 2 between these 2 players. This is the semifinal match. We are at the money rounds. Everybody playing right now is walking away with something, but one of these players is headed to the finals, and one of their days will be coming to a close shortly here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, representing BoRnGo, up 1-0, looking to close it out. It's the Protoss player, ACuteSnek. In the bottom right-hand corner, will he be ready for the Adepts this time around? It's the Zerg player. It's Nathaniel. People in chat are expressing condolences, remorse, regret after watching Nathaniel get picked apart by those Adepts. I think losing to a Glaives Adept play like that is something that every single Zerg knows the feeling. It's the kind you'll shut down a Glaives attack 5 times in a row, and then the one time you lose to it, it is pretty feels bad, man. It's not a great feeling. Let's see if Nathaniel is able to shake that off. Probe Scout coming in from ACuteSnek. The Probe Scout's job will be to confirm the timing of the natural, done. Confirm no 12 Fool, kind of done at the same time. It doesn't hurt to double check. They're confirm the timing of the pool, done. And then after these details have been confirmed, ACuteSnek, like clockwork from previous games by the way, will be free to throw down this Nexus before core and get in position to throw down the core next. And there's the core. So I think the question on everybody's mind, will ACuteSnek be once again going with this Glaive push? The Glaive push, I don't see a single reason not to do it again. In her last series, the game 2 was a straight to carriers build, and I remember this specifically because I was very late to notice the fleet beacon because I am a mediocre observer. Let's see if that is once again going to be the choice. So one change I see here from ACuteSnek, second pylon isn't going to go right next to the first pylon. That will give ACuteSnek the opportunity to potentially hide some tech, if one is so inclined. Overlord is headed towards the main, and after the Overlord waits a second, maybe got spotted here. I'm not sure the Overlord was able to click on this. and confirm that it is going to be a Stargate opener in this game number 2. Third base still has not been started yet. We're not at the late third base stage yet, but probably, yeah, time to start thinking about it. Nathaniel's sending that drone out to queue up that third base. Floating a lot of money as a result, you can see, but that'll help even things out. All right, getting into back into it. Overlay is fixed. Zerglings are out on the map in strategic locations to see move outs. Shading one adept forward. This adept's job will be to scout, maybe see if there's a little bit of PTSD from the last Glaives adept push. Roach Warren done, Evo Chamber on the way as well. One adept will march forward, gonna find a drone for his trouble, which is a pleasant surprise. Oh, look at the F2. Look at the F2. All of the scouting Zerglings are coming back. Fleet Beacon's on the way, by the way. This is going to be the straight to carrier build in Game 2 once again. Approaching this matchup very similar to the last best of 3. 4 workers fell. 4 workers fell to that adept. Oh my gosh. Very fortunate life for that adept. Able to get 4 workers for its trouble. Absolutely worth. This Phoenix is not hallucinated. This is a real Phoenix coming in. Already has 1 kill under its belt. Worker count in favor of ACuteSnek. I like her position. I'm not going to lie. I do not think as the carriers start coming out, has this been confirmed here by Nathaniel? 1 Stargate was confirmed, but the 2 Stargate, unless he was watching earlier, he was probably playing his own matches, but if he was watching early, he might have an idea of what's coming. Maybe. But as of right now, I gotta think he has no idea what carrier nonsense awaits him. He's got Roach Speed coming up. This is the same bait. She baits so well. In Game 1, after getting the success with the Adepts, every Zerg player under the sun is going to be thinking about going into Roaches in Game 2. You do a quick Roach all-in to run over the Adepts, and then the Roaches are just absolutely going to get demolished by just a couple carriers. It's such a smart way to approach the series. Carriers number 3 and 4 on the way. A few Adepts hanging out here by the wall. It'd be really easy to spot the carriers of the play. You literally just send one of these scouting Zerglings forward. It gets killed by some interceptors. Roach is beginning to mass up on the other side of the map. The supply is looking favorable for Nathaniel, but the type of supply... I feel like I'm watching a replay of map 2 from ACuteSnek earlier. I feel like I'm watching a replay. If it goes like it did last time, Nathaniel's going to move out, run into these carriers, throw away the whole army, and that'll be the 2-0. I feel like I could be watching the same exact series again. 4 carriers are here. And this is it, moving out on the map. 4 carrier pushes the play. Probably should bring the Adepts. Carriers have been spotted. They found an Overlord or something on their way across the map, and they have been spotted. They will be known. I think it was a Zergling. Let's see what the response is going to be. Roach is moving towards the north side of the map, looking to do a bit of a base trade type situation. Gonna miss the Adepts, 2 ships passing in the night. Probably fortunate for the Adepts. I don't think you want to fight these Roaches. I think a recall of these carriers is going to end up being the play. Carriers moving in towards the main base. Spore crawlers have been started up everywhere, but will these spore crawlers be enough? Spore crawlers being mowed down before they finish, but here come the rest of the spores. We've got these Adepts. These Adepts are coming in towards the Nat. They're getting good damage done. 17 drones have fallen so far. Spore crawlers desperately doing work, but they're barely going to be able to thin down that interceptor count. Meanwhile, production has been shut down for the Protoss. These Roaches are trading out, and they're happy with their trade so far. Here comes the recall. The battle's about to take place right here in this natural. Only 2 carriers come back, but 2 carriers are going to be plenty to deal with everything that's here. She leaves 2 carriers on the offensive. She leaves the Adepts that are continuing to ravage these mineral lines. The worker count is dropping so fast. 50 drones have fallen so far. We're looking at a 2-0. ACuteSnek is headed to the finals of Platinum Heroes, number 5. Shading back towards the natural. Adepts are going to do pretty well against these Hydras, honestly. The Roaches are what the Adepts aren't going to do well against, but they've already done enough damage, I think, to probably seal the game. A couple Corruptors, 1 Corruptor on the production tab, but 1 Corruptor is not going to be able to deal with 4 carriers. The only saving grace right now, these Spore Crawlers are doing an absolutely excellent job of keeping the interceptor count under control, but it's 4 carriers to an army with no anti-air. The Roaches are headed back across the map to try and do some work, but there won't be any recall this time. I will say that with no recall, there's going to be nothing here to deal with these Roaches. These Zealots aren't going to be able to clean it up. Probably should have had more carriers producing, but that's the problem with producing carriers on 2 bases. It's hard to afford. Nathanial is down to 7 workers as he moves in towards the natural of his Protoss opponent. He's going to need some absolutely stellar damage here to somehow, maybe, beyond a shadow of hope, crawl back into this game. Roaches are having a tough time getting cleaned up. Maybe even start a Void Ray out of one of these Stargates. But even if we're in a base trade situation, I think all of the buildings will be dead for our Zerg pretty soon here. Roaches are finally getting cleaned up by Adepts and Stalkers. GG is called. ACuteSnek will be headed to the finals.